All right. Well, welcome everybody to the Women's Catalyst Town Hall after Town Hall breakout session, where we're here to empower diversity and relationship and in the Catalyst Cardano ecosystem and just learn from each other and build relationships. So today, how we usually do things is we either have a topic or a special guest that we're going to be interviewing. And today we have both. So we're going to be talking about film and how we have just had the first full-length feature film dropped on Cardano as an NFT, not a token gated, something that you can actually download and watch and it's yours to keep. And then before we get started though, we're actually going to highlight a couple of Catalyst proposals because voting starts tomorrow and it's perfect timing. And so we want to highlight a couple that are in the room right now, and then we'll get to Rona, also just allowing a few more people to trickle into the room. But Stephania has a proposal out, and I'm going to give the room to you, Stephania. Take a few minutes and explain what your company and your proposal is doing, and give us the details.
Yes, so hi everyone. Thank you so much for giving me this space to quickly present my project called GoingUP. Is it possible to share my screen?
You can share your screen. Yep.
Okay, perfect.
I think so. Juliana, do we have that? Yeah.
So yeah, we are building GoingUP, a collaboration and on-chain reputation building platform, and our purpose is to onboard more people to the crypto industry by facilitating collaboration and adoption. We have a team of 3 co-founders. My background is in design engineering. Mark has 20 years experience in full stack software development and also in blockchain development in Solidity, and now he's also getting into the Cardano ecosystem. And Benoit, also co-founder, who is also at Columbia Business School. The market opportunity is huge. There are 75 million plus users on LinkedIn that are already in the crypto space. And the problem that we are trying to solve is that anyone on the internet can claim anything. So there is a fundamental trust issue, and informal work is very difficult to prove and to verify the claims that people do on the internet. So our solution is GoingUP. We are building a collaboration and reputation building platform. So the core of our project is to build a reputation on chain, create a scoring system that looks into past wallet interactions, past tokens, profiles that he has, and transactions that have been a red flag previously, all in order to create this reputation score that will help people to identify the good actors from the bad actors, and encourage also more collaboration in the space. So our key product differentiators are the reputation, the reputation building, and this score, which is the fundamental part. So we are targeting crypto native people who are already in the Web3 space, creators already creating NFT projects, and as well as organizations looking to hire more people or to onboard people into their DAOs. So we have our MVP ready. Is both compatible with Ethereum and Cardano. We look forward to keep developing in the Cardano ecosystem, and we have 3 corporate partners already sign up, and we have a small group of testers who are providing us feedback. Also, our go-to-market is B2B partnerships. The competitors landscape, our key differentiator point compared to all those companies is that none of them is looking into the scoring system and looking into the past interactions and on-chain verification. We plan to make revenue by selling the premium memberships to the corporates, the tokens of appreciation, and commissions on the smart contracts. These are our financial projections for the future. And our key milestones is with the money from the Cardano Catalyst is to create a beta product that is stable, working on the reputation score, which is a fundamental part of our proposal. and also have the standardization of the on-chain reputation. So we started this project in early 2022 in January. We have an MVP. We are iterating on the product. Our goal is to keep working on the scoring and refine it, have more integration with the smart contracts, and also work on these standards. So yeah, right now, the right time, there's a lot of demand from crypto companies. Also, there is a potential return of a huge potential return of investment, because there is a lot of demand from those companies looking to have more talented collaborators from both from the DAO side and from the people creating NFT collectibles. And yeah, we want to build in the Cardano ecosystem, because it has a huge potential in terms of user adoption for the future, and a very interesting technology. So we look forward to have your support, and please both GoingUP to help people build their reputation on chain.
That's amazing. Thank you, Stephania, for sharing. And also for everyone, Megan has posted a link to Stephania's proposal in the chat here. Make sure you check it out. And I took a look at this the other day. I think it's phenomenal. Especially even within our project, we are trying to, look for people to join different roles within our team. And I know that even Hanifa and I had communicated in the DMs and Twitter a while ago about, how do we find people to do certain aspects of work that maybe we don't have the strong suit in, but we have great ideas. And so what you're doing is matching companies and teams. You're like the Yelp of you're the Yelp of Web3. So I love that. Okay, cool. And then we're going to go to Tomi next.
Thank you so much, Dana.
Yeah, you're welcome. So everyone check out that proposal. And if Stephania, if you want to put your contact information or something in the chat. So if anyone has any questions, they can message you directly. Okay, cool. All right, Tomi. So we have Tomi in the house, and he's here to talk about the Catalyst culture proposal setting, the challenge setting for Fund 9. And basically what happens is every fund round, there's always a funding challenge that is for challenge setting for the next round. And so I know that Juliana is a part of Tomi's team, in addition to a number of other women that are really passionate about fostering a positive Catalyst culture, and how do we do that together. So I'm going to give it over to Tomi for a few minutes to explain what you guys are doing, and so that we're aware when we go to vote. Go ahead, Tomi.
Yeah, thanks, Dana. So first off, I just want to mention, if there's any new people in the house, that there's this awesome tool for voters called Voter Tool, built by the community. And you can see the proposals here, and you can also see the full proposal on IdeaScale through the link. So if you go to IdeaScale, you see that the team includes me, then Joe, Özgür, Nori, and Juliana. And of course, anyone else is welcome. I don't really need to be in this team, but this is something that I'm very passionate about. So it's nice to be in this team. The idea came from this highest potential of human collaboration that we keep hearing every week in the town halls, that we would need to have some sort of supportive culture that actually makes this possible. And when we thought about it more, we realized that there is one thing, and that's diversity, that really drives the kind of culture that we want to have. And why diversity? Is because it leads to higher levels of creativity and innovation. And because we are an innovation platform, we really need that. So as we scale up, as we grow bigger, we need to have a solid culture that also shows outside. for new people who join. There's a lot to read here, but I will not go into all of this stuff. I will just point out some of the things that you might want to be interested in. So if we look at ideal catalyst culture, what would it be? It should be fun, relaxed, welcoming. It should communicate the diversity of background, opinion, and insight are essential. It should create an expectation of high standards of performance from everyone. It should stimulate personal development and emotional intelligence, promote peer mentoring and learning from one another, encourage openness, trust, asking, listening, and a sense of belonging. It should make people feel heard, respected, and valued. It should breathe life into a well-articulated and widely understood mission that we might not have yet. It should support and maintain an egalitarian and non-bureaucratic structure and allow a degree of creative friction for innovation to flourish. So this stuff is not just coming from like our imagination, but it's actually based on some research. You can check the links to research in this particular proposal. And the examples of proposals that you might want to submit into this challenge include educational events, discussion fora, software tools, analysis tools, social media, content, tools that can help in recruitment and onboarding, incentives for bringing different types of people together in teams, surveys, interviews, documentation, systems, processes, partnerships, initiatives, competence development tools, frameworks, mentoring, coaching, peer support, structure, solutions, well-being, community, listening related initiatives, celebrations, rites, rituals, other cultural artifacts to strengthen the culture, the kind of culture we want to have, leadership development initiatives, equal participation, engagement initiatives, whatnot. You can see that it's a wide array of different things that it could be. So as long as it fits this challenge question, how might we establish and maintain inclusive and lively catalyst culture to explore the highest potential of human collaboration, then anything goes. And we really hope that this gets chosen because this supports everything else that we do. We budgeted 400,000 for this, and here are the sources if you are interested. And we think that it fits the strategic goals very well, all three of them. And as you can see, we are already diverse. We are Alum, Akiar, Nishigaya, Astikainen, and Nikolova. We could use some American names here also. Oh,
Awesome.
by the way, American names don't exist, so like Kovacic knows. Anyways, thank you very much, and hopefully we get this in, and then afterwards we get to talk more about it.
Yeah, this is amazing. So $400,000 you are hoping to be in the pot so that people can submit proposals into this challenge. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing. And now we are going to get to the main event, the encore, the entree to our dinner here. And what better way to go into it than to announce Rona. She is a filmmaker, she's an award-winning author, and we're just so happy and proud that she has helped to deploy the first full-length feature film on the Cardano blockchain. And so Rona, thank you for being here. I'm so excited. And first, just tell us a little bit about yourself, your journey into filmmaking, and how you ended up in Cardano.
Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for having me. Hi, Natalie. Hi, Siobhan. It's lovely to be here. Thank you, Dana. Well, yeah, I try to keep it shorter. I usually can ramble about that for ages. So yeah, I'm a filmmaker, coming from a background as an author, actually, before I became a filmmaker. And I'm making movies for the last roughly 15 years, starting with music video, documentary, mostly wildlife and underwater diving, everything like that. Yeah, and a couple of years ago, I think it's 5 years now, I started making fictional movies with my team now called Serenity Productions or Pictures. Before that, it was Tin Cowboys. Yeah, and we made our second feature film recently. We made one before that, and it's called Clay's Redemption. It's released in a traditional manner, so you can watch it basically on streaming, and it's coming out on DVD and Blu-ray in May. So that's the old movie. And we had a lot of experience with that, how things go the traditional way when you release a movie like that. And then we made a second feature film. This time I directed it, as the first one was directed by Carlos. And yeah, we did a bit, you know, the second movie is always bigger, better, higher. So we did a bit more. We have action, adventure, body horror film with practical effects, a lot of fight scenes, stage combat, MMA. We shot in a couple of different countries. We have a bigger cast, more locations, the whole thing, just to prove to the film industry that we can do it, because they always want you to prove that you can do it. So we said, look, we can technically do it, to just create some proof. So I directed Toxica. Then we had, we basically finished it 3 days before the pandemic came to UK, and had no idea what was going on because we were so busy that none of us read the news. Then everybody was down with COVID for ages because we obviously were stressed out for 3.5 months. So we were very, very good victims for COVID. And the rest of the lockdowns we spent finishing the movie in post-production. So made the music, exactly, made the music, and did some, you know, sound effects, color grading, pimped the practical effects a bit with VFX and CGI a little bit. So yeah, the movie was done last year in September. And then we had a lot of offers for the movie. So we had a lot of offers from distributors, and that includes streaming services to license the movie for a couple of years, because they don't buy anymore, they just license it now. And I was very unhappy with how things went and what they offered us in exchange to what we had to give. And it wasn't anything I wanted to sign, and I didn't want to sign away my entire rights and the rights of my cast and crew and IP for 10 years or 7 to 10 years for not having any marketing. So the movie will, like our first movie would have come out, be online, and after 2 days you have a new movie coming out, you know, so you have a fluctuation. A lot of movies come out every single day, so you basically disappear if you don't have marketing, and marketing cost about between $2 and $3 million. So we were slightly short of that, just having made a movie at all. So yeah, we went out drinking and met a friend, and this is a true story. It was really crazy. We met a friend Carlos knows for ages and hasn't seen in over 20 years. And that guy talked to us about crypto. I was tired. I just wanted to go dancing. I was exhausted from making a movie and dealing with these Hollywood people day in, day out. Carlos, however, wasn't. And Carlos was listening. And Carlos said, you know what, there is nothing we have to lose. We can always sign the contracts if nothing happens. We can, you know, we didn't reject them. I still have them. But he said, I would like to do something better with it, find a better audience. Find a different way to get movies out there, and in a long run make original films, because that was the problem, that we never got our movies made even after 15 years, having a little bit of smaller connections as well, not the big ones but smaller ones, and it just never happened. And at some point you get a bit frustrated and you want to just create your own thing. So yeah, we hope to do that with Cardano. And since Cardano is the rebel blockchain and is a bit more innovative and forward thinking and less doubtful about what you do, no one asked us how you're going to do it. Everybody said, sounds tricky, but I can't wait to see it. And, you know, whereas other blockchains said it is impossible. And that's exactly what we had in the film industry all the time, that things are impossible, which is strange because we just did it. So, you know, it just doesn't have the value anymore at some point. So yeah, that's basically the story in a nutshell. We're here to really bring original stories back. We hope more indie filmmakers or filmmakers can make their original tales, because we're starved of original content. We really are. It's, you know, it's been ages since we saw something that wasn't a reboot or a sequel or prequel. So yeah, just breaking the barrier, bypassing the gatekeepers, and finding a good audience. So that's what we're trying to do right now.
That's amazing. So how has your experience been? Well, what was the experience like working with, so the idea was we want to do it this way, we want to do it on Cardano, and then it was executing it. So the experience of how did you get it done? And, you know, who were the people that helped you along the way? And what were the learnings?
Oh, so many learnings. It was incredible. It was basically a whole new world. And going into Cardano was, first of all, I was completely overwhelmed. I had no idea what people were talking about for a month and two. And I just listened in, and I listened into different blockchains just to get to know what people are like and how I personally feel, because I would be our speaker. So Carlos and Ivo will concentrate and focus on contracts and on learning new skills to do technical backgrounds and everything, and do marketing and everything. So I would just be there speaking. And yeah, it was like learning a new language. And at the same time, it was like coming home a little. I don't want to be too cheesy, but in the film industry, it's a lot of who shouts the loudest, who chest bangs the most. It's a cutthroat industry. And if you're not willing to walk over other people's preferably dead body, you're not gonna get anywhere. You're not gonna get anything done. And so yeah, we are not like that. We are different people, and in Cardano we didn't have to be it. So we could just be us, which is very refreshing. And I also work a little bit better when I just can be me and don't have to shout all the time how great everything is. So yeah, that was really good. Carlos actually started learning a lot from our group from Retro NFTs, who took care of us because we were basically the toddler with the loaded handgun, and they tried to make sure that we didn't do anything stupid, you know, that we didn't set anything on fire, and just said, look, don't do this, but do that. Listen in here, don't do that. So they basically gave us a guideline and set up the entire technological stuff, like everything that works now. For example, streaming the movie in high quality and high resolution as a CNFT, that wasn't anything anybody could do. So they helped us doing it, and they respected our wishes, which is very important. And when I said the first time I would like to eliminate the ticket and create an own streaming platform for Serenity Pictures, they went a bit pale, and then they said, let's see what we can do. And they did it. Took them a couple of months, but they did it. Carlos made our website. Carlos basically designed a lot of stuff. I helped a little bit, you know, whenever I was free, I took over, because he's a night owl. So I do daytime, he does nighttime. Ivo made sure that every contract is correct, that we make good deals, but everybody's happy. You know, it always has to be a win-win. So otherwise you have future problems afoot, and we didn't want that. And the Retro NFT guys are amazing. And the last member is Supin Sando. I think his name is Michael. I don't even know. I think it is. But and he helped us a lot with marketing. He said, look, there's things like spaces. You have to be in them. And I didn't know. So I went into spaces and told me where to be careful, what people are interesting to listen to. So yeah, that was basically massive team effort, because we had a movie, we didn't know what to do with it, basically.
That's amazing. Does anybody have any questions for Rona that they wanted to ask her about the film, or where you can find it? Tell us where you can find it first, and how much it is, and how many are left, and all the different places that we can find you online.
Wow. Well, we decided to only make 1,000 mints, so you have 1,000 movies out there. Some of them are really gone. They went the first day, so we do have a couple of hundreds left, and they are about 100 ADA each. And we highly recommend to keep them as a collectible as well, because you're probably not going to watch it 50 times. But we have a couple of people who watched it 4 times already, which is really nice, and already browsing ideas and brainstorming with us. But it's definitely worth being collected, because it won't be out there anywhere else apart from Cardano. It won't be, out on Netflix or anywhere. If, however, we would decide to still sell it to Netflix, they would get a separate edition. They wouldn't get the same edition Cardano has. Also, if they buy or if they license the movie from Netflix or Shudder, the value of the Cardano version will increase, which is very important as well. We already stopped some crazy people putting it out there on YouTube, because
Really?
it will decrease your value. Don't do that.
There was already people trying to put it up on YouTube. So how did you have to stop that, or how did you stop it? Did they ask you first, or did you see it and you were like, please take it down?
Well, the thing is, the movie already is contracted. So if you put it out there and enough data, and it's a very small amount of data, matches our contracts, I will get a message from YouTube and you will be taken down. Same on Vimeo, same on all these pirating sites, because we had to do that beforehand for the film industry. It's mandatory. And someone texted me the other day and said, can I put it on YouTube? I said, oh yeah, if you don't want your movie to be worth anything at all, you can do it. But then you have to deal with a couple of hundred people who already bought it, because their value will decrease as well. And I will tell everybody that it's you. And he was scared. I think he was a boy or something, like a teenager. And I felt horrible. But otherwise we don't learn. So he didn't put it out there, which was really funny. And yeah, Carlos explained to him a bit more gentle, why not? But it was really funny. I'm more like an evil stepmom. He's more like the fairy godmother. I don't know. So yeah, he learned. In general, another interesting part about the movie, I think, is that you don't only get the CNFT in your wallet, you also get a link that has an even higher resolution. So you get the highest resolution we shot it in, 4K, and that is important just to have the best sound design as well, and everything is just high quality, shiny and beautiful, and that's what you get automatically, just in case you want to watch it on a big screen video.
And is that in the metadata? Is that the last thing that's in the metadata, the source?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Yes. Cool.
Yeah. So yeah, it's nice, and we mint just as long as they are available. When they're gone, but definitely stop minting next year at the same time. So I hope they're all gone within a year, but at the same time, we don't know what happens. We just have to test the waters and see where it is going, and how people react to it. And yeah. Oh, and one more thing I always forget, just quickly, we also have the so-called Augusta. And Augusta is a 2D art work. She's a lady that comes with different outfits and different styles, all inspired by pop icons. So you have the red one for Britney Spears, Hit Me Baby One More Time. You have the golden one for the Oscar. You have the black one for the 1990s Catwoman outfit in Batman animated series. And you have the original denim, like 1990s pink helmet denim shirt. And you also have a Cardano version and a Captain America version. So and they come with different rarities and super rares. So if you have a super rare, which is basically like a poison ivy thing, like she makes this heart and has the vines all about her, you get everything. You get gag reel, behind the scenes, movie poster, original movie poster. You get audio commentary and stuff like that. And if you have specific rarities, you also get specific utilities. So she's your key to unlock extra utilities, basically.
And Augusta is the main character of the movie. So you basically made NFTs, Augusta NFTs that unlock special things inside of the movie, which is very cool, because I know that Siobhan got one of the rarity ones, and I got a normal one, and I was like, Siobhan, you have access to special things that I don't.
Oh no. Shame
know.
on
Is down.
you.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
so Megan also just put in the chat the link to Serenity Pictures.
Ooh, sure.
And that's the website that people go to, right? It's www.serenity.
Let me have a look. Yeah, I also can put in the minting link from Retro NFTs. It's going via Pool PM. I quickly put it in there.
Okay, awesome.
Just only use that link. We already had to clean a little bit because people tried obviously to, you know, do something naughty with it. So here's the only link you're gonna use.
Okay.
Oh, come on.
Well, while we're figuring that out, Siobhan, you had your hand up.
Yeah, I was wondering if I could ask a question, Rona. Just like, so I'm curious. Like, I mean, I watched the movie this morning, and I'm a huge fan. And I'm just curious, like, what what you learned from sort of, well, first part, it's like, what's next for you, and then like the things that you've learned in this journey of like putting your movie on like blockchain. Like, are you going to incorporate any of those things into your next project, or would you change your approach at all, for the next thing? Just kind of curious to know.
Yeah, well, what we learned, I think I learned a lot in the filmmaking process, coming from music video and documentary, which is completely different than making a feature film. So I learned a lot in that process. I learned a lot about storytelling because I'm a novelist, so I can write down a story, but I can write a script, but I'm not particularly the best screenwriter. But I learned a lot on how to write it, how to adapt it, and how it will look like in the edit, because you basically make the movie 3 times, and if you make the score, the music composition as well, then you probably make it for the 4th time. So that was really interesting. The other thing I learned was more in a spiritual way, to be honest with you. It was more like trusting again, because coming from the film industry, I was after we did the first feature film, Place Redemption, I said to Carlos, look, I don't want to do films anymore. I think I'm going to go back to, documentary or something. I think I've outgrown it, kind of, because I was frustrated. I could never make the movie I wanted to make. And I was a creative producer. That means I made dresses, I made sets. And I said, look, I'm going to be your creative producer. I make your costumes and everything, and sets and props. And you just direct it. And when he came along with making Toxica, I mean, I'm a Batman fan. And he said, look, we cannot make your horror film you wanted to make. We don't have the money for it. But let's do something we can make and reverse engineer it. And I had never done this before. So he gave me homework and said, look, sit down and write a list of things you have right now, right here. And you can have for free or for time banking. You work for a location, bartend for them or whatever, and then you can have the location for the amount of hours you worked for them. Or who owes you a favor, or who needs a opportunity to rise up, to do something new. So, people work very hard to get a little bit of a CV together. So we just said, look, we have so many talented people and they do the same stuff over and again. So we wrote down these people who wanted to do something new. Then we basically cashed in everything we had. We sold a couple of insurances we had. I had an inheritance because my parent passed away right before we started shooting. So I had that. And just made sure we had enough money, because we applied for funding and didn't get it in the UK. So I kind of like had a massive list. I think it was like 40 things. And I called everybody. I said, look, how do you think about making something new, something you haven't done before? What do you think about creating something you always wanted to, nobody gave you the chance to do? I can't pay much, but I can pay you and we can make a movie. And everybody did. And I was forced to delegate more. I was forced to trust these people more, because I couldn't give them as much references and directing as I wanted to. They needed more from me, but at the same time, I knew who to focus on. Okay, this person needs more advice. This person needs more from me as a director or a producer. So I focused on these people more than the other ones who I knew could do it on their own. So it was for me to learn, what do people need from me, and how much guidance they need from me, and learning how to delegate, and then coming to Cardano and learning to give it another shot and not mistrust people and say, oh God, it's not going to work out again, because you run against closed doors all the time and walls all the time in the film industry. It's normal. It's like, it's part of the business. But in Cardano, I had to start over again and say, I trust that it works out this time. This one time it will work out. And it did. And we are very happy. We have a lot of support. And we have the honor just to do something that hasn't really been done like this before. And that's interesting. So I learned more spiritually how to trust in other people again.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. That's all.
Juliana has her hand up.
Yes, so actually, Shivan covered my question, which was, what was your biggest learning? But your story is so inspiring, and I'm so happy to see that you didn't give up and you try one more time, and this one last time you kind of achieve something that you wanted. And for me, that is such a great learning, to never give up, no matter what's happening, no matter how many challenges you have. And I'm so thankful that you are so open and honest, because usually you don't see that kind of level of honesty, but I see your learnings and I see why you're that way. And I'm so happy that you're in the community, and I hope you stay for long here. And how long did you take? So for how long here you have been? So how long it will take you from realizing that a Cardano could be an opportunity to releasing the movie?
You know what? I have to backtrack. I think we met our friend in December. It was before Christmas we met him, and we had the contract since September. So I took my sweet time to just read them over and again. Also, if you have a fax number in a contract, don't sign it, because it's probably from the 80s. It's like, don't do it. Anyway, I think we met him in December. I think we were fairly quick because we were asked to make a roadmap or business
You mean
plan.
this December?
Yes, last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's quick.
Exactly. And the thing is that I don't know why we were so fast. I think Retro NFTs asked us what we have. So we said, we have a trailer, we have artwork. We already had the artwork because we wanted to use it for something else, actually. And we have the movie finished. So they said, well, basically we can start right away. So we figured out how much time we would take to learn how to handle spaces, how to get to know people, and how to learn the technical backgrounds we needed to know. I mean, we don't know how Retro NFTs did these things. It's very complex, but we know how to make websites and stuff like that, or like how to help out when something doesn't go right, so the basics of technology there. I think it was about 2.5 months. And then we said, yeah, well, let's just release the movie, because we're sitting on it. We literally just have to write down the roadmap and go with it. We could have released it a bit earlier, but we wanted to make sure it works 100%. And like a week ago, we watched the movie with our team, and it looks great. So all worked out.
So what are your next steps?
Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot. Carlos came up with a beautiful story idea about a year ago. He wanted to make a John Lennon coming of age Beatles film, which has never been made, and will focus on 1 week of John Lennon's life right before the Beatles almost didn't happen, because everybody knows the sequel. And it was a week in Hamburg where everything went like downhill. Everything went wrong. Everything went completely to shit. And John Lennon was left with all the luggage and everything from the Beatles boys who were in prison and whatever, drugged, whatever, and just had to go home on his own and said, I'm over. I'm not gonna make music with these jerks. And he just relives that week in Hamburg, what has happened. And that's an interesting part that has never been told. And Carlos is basically a walking and talking Beatles dictionary. He knows, I could show you that bookshelf ×3 is full with Beatles on the other side of the room. It's insane. He knows everything about it. And I would love to creative produce it, going back to the early 60s and going through the whole thing. So that. And my personal dream is I want to make my movie for ages now. It's like a modernized horror Western, revisionary Western. And it's about Native Alaskan lore. It's about creatures that linger, that are not the Wendigo. And it's something really more like, it's a revenge flick, obviously, but it will also be something a little bit more deeper, a little bit more like Seven in the Wild West and in Alaska. And I wrote a novel and it will come out very soon this year, actually. So I hope I make that one day. And hopefully we get Johnny Depp for it now that he needs some work. And we need him.
Mm-hmm.
It's written for him. He would love it. And he can finally act properly again. Not doing silly, fantastic beasts.
Are there any kind of like awards or something that you can win? Because is that kind of movie production can be part of that kind of, because it's so new, and I don't know if there are any kind of awards.
It's a good question. I don't know. I don't think so, to be honest with you. I mean, every indie filmmaker has a couple of awards. It's not hard to get them anymore. We have a couple as well, but it doesn't really boost your career anymore because they are so easily given to people. But we should actually have a Cardano movie award or something. That would be incredible. Oh, I would love that.
And we have another of makers here, so.
Oh yes. Yes, I would, you know what, guys, I would love that. We should totally, that's a brilliant idea.
Yeah, and I think that that's something that's probably going to be integrated within the next few years in the film festivals and stuff too, integration into Web3. So it should totally be there.
Absolutely. No, absolutely. I think it is, we might be a bit early for the party, but you know what, at some point you have to try it, you have to see, and with the next movie we do better. We just figure out where were all the flaws, what didn't work out, what can be done maybe more complex even, because we're really simplifying it right now. We just released the trailer, we released the 2D artwork, and simultaneously we released the movie, so you can still mint both. It makes you discover the flick more independently and individually, and you can just be more interactive with it. If you have Augusta, she will guide you to different utilities and everything. So I think it was more like computer gamey playful this time, because that's what we thought we know. It's less likely to go wrong. And with the next movie, we just see what else is possible, and probably be you guys then. Next time is your turn, and just see how we can do better, and hopefully make enough waves that enough noise that other filmmakers come in. And so far they're very reluctant. I was talking to a film space today actually, and it wasn't Cardano, but I think they're fairly reluctant right now. Maybe it was because I said I come from Cardano. I don't know. But
reluctant on what?
They said, well, for one, they said it's not possible, and I said once again, no, we did it. It's done since Sunday, so it is very much possible, and limiting beliefs and stuff like that. So I left chat quite early, but also they weren't really keen on us releasing a movie as a CNFT because they thought it wouldn't work. So I told them to just, visit us in our Discord, check it out, talk to other people who have done it, maybe made a movie themselves, you know, and have a look, like one-on-one, figuring out how it works, you know, to evolve themselves and to just go to the next step of filmmaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We have Henry's hand is up. Hi, Henry. Your arm's getting tired up there. What's going on?
I'm dying to know, like, what I missed the front half of this conversation. What movie is this?
Ooh, actually, we didn't mention
I'm in
it.
the dark.
You are you know what? I talked so much about it without mentioning it.
Whatever it is, I want to see it. I want, but what is it?
Oh man, it's okay. So
Sounds great.
It's an action adventure horror movie, very much influenced by the 80s and 90s flicks. So it is cosmic horror, Lovecraftian horror. The name of the movie is called Toxica. And it's about a former stunt woman who cannot work anymore in her field and has to moonlight as a dodgy PI and has to take on very weird jobs and even beat up people for a living from the underground bosses. So it's very Gotham City. It's very, you know, very dark and gothy, but also very colorful. And Augusta, at some point on her way to a job, gets in touch with something that is definitely mystical, it's ancient, and it's most likely Lovecraftian and cosmic horror. And it's more like a what if Poison Ivy, you know, it's very much inspired by Poison Ivy, but obviously we did our own thing. Yeah, and it's basically a transformation of body and soul, body and mind even, and how you would deal with it if you are an unreliable anti-hero that can go dark anytime, you know. That's what it is about.
How do I see it? Like, where do you access it? I understand that you have made it an NFT, which, you know, I still don't kind of understand, but how do I access this? Or you know, is it out? If so, where do I see it? You know, I don't know.
Oh, no, it's very mysterious. So it is out. We released it on Easter Sunday, and I put the link in the chat actually. And do not use any other link than this one. There are already other links out there. Don't use them. Just use what Serenity Pictures shares, and you can basically. It's basically like getting on Pool PM and you get a DVD or Blu-ray or VHS for your wallet. So the movie will appear in your wallet. You don't need an external link or a ticket anymore. And you can watch it in your wallet in pretty good quality. But if you get your movie, you also automatically get a link, an extra link. And that extra link transports you to a super high resolution. So if you want to watch it with your friends on a very big screen, for example, then you can watch it in even higher quality. But you might probably not need that link, to be honest. NFTs seems to be very, very good quality.
Yeah, so basically the movie, when I minted it off of the website that she put in the chat here, and I did that earlier when did I do that? On Sunday, Easter Sunday. I can't believe it was just a couple days ago. It seems like it's been a whole week. But when I minted it, I went to my wallet, I looked at my wallet, and there was the movie, and I pressed play, and it just started playing, and I was like, oh my God. And then I just like airstreamed it to my TV.
Yeah, no, it's a bit magical, and I still don't know when people ask me how you did it. I refer to Retro NFTs and Carlos because they are the magicians. I just wrote them a shopping list and said, I want this, and now you figure out how to do it, and they did. And yeah, that was really admirable.
And that's why people are freaking out, because they don't understand how can a full length, a 90-minute film be put on the blockchain. And so that's basically, I mean, from your conversation this morning, you were saying people just weren't believing it, that you can own the NFT. So now it's very interesting. Now that you've done it, there's all these additional things that need to be thought about is, you know, my intellectual property's out there now. people watching it in other places? How do we make sure that in the metadata we have more information about the copyright or, all of that stuff going forward? So I did that answer your question, Henry? Or go ahead. Your hand is, did you just put your hand up? Or he's frozen?
I think he's clapping too. Oh no, it's gone.
Okay. And he's frozen on my end. Oh,
Yeah.
Juliana has her hand up though.
Yeah, I just wonder, weren't they, so since I don't know what are people are talking, but from what I hear here is like that obviously it is difficult for people to imagine a movie or on a blockchain or on an NFT. But since I remember, the first NFT that I've heard about was the NBA shops. So they sold all the NBAs in small shops through the whole history. So that was the first thing, and I think that case was like 2-3 years ago that they started, and basically this is all the moments, like golden moments for Michael Jordan, of like all the NBAs. So I'm not sure. So that's, for me, it's not a new concept. So I wonder why is that kind of
Size. It's the size. So those
size.
NBA shots were like little clips, whereas that's different from a 90-minute movie that takes up a lot of space, and not compromising your quality or your, because if you compress something like that, you're gonna mess with the quality of how they filmed it. And so they actually found a way how to not do that. So it's just like pretty amazing.
Yeah, it's magic. I really don't know how it works because I mean, I asked them and they told me, but God knows, you could explain it 85 times to me, I wouldn't get it. But yeah, it was quite complex. I mean, they really took 3.5 months to do it. But yeah, I would definitely invite them for the next space we have with Toxica. I would love to have another space. I had my first one with Minting Party on Easter Sunday, which was great. And it went on for 4 hours and I really wanted to go to bed, but people didn't want to leave. And we had the actors and some of the actors and our composer Near in there, which was really interesting because for the first time they met the Cardano people and the other way around. They met actors who are in The Sandman on Netflix or are in the Batman movie recently, it's like incredible for them. And it was really nice. And but we want to invite retro NFTs so you can ask these questions. And I think it's important to make sure it's understood as well, because Cardano seems to believe us right away. I mean, they witness it, every day we sell movies and they like you did, Dana, they say, well, it's here, it's working. But other blockchains probably don't quite understand how to do it because they are around longer than Cardano, but haven't done it for some reason. I don't know why they didn't do it, but well, now we did it.
Go ahead, Juliana.
That was it. No. Thank you.
Oh, somebody's been trying to spam me on my phone right now. But so that's amazing. So going back to something that Siobhan said earlier about utilizing techniques from your journey this time, because you already had a film completed. So now moving forward, are you going to take the same approach? Will you complete a film first and then integrate it into Web3, or are you going to try a new format or like raise funds with NFTs, or what's kind of the strategy do you think that you're going to utilize going forward?
We have a couple of ideas. For one, we play with the idea re-releasing our first feature film, Carlos' directorial debut, because it came out on, I think, 6 or 7 platforms, streaming services, and it was streamed massive. It has a massive number of streamers, and yet Carlos, I remember he got his first check And we had thousands and thousands of views. The thing is, if you don't watch the movie from beginning to end, including the credit titles, you're not going to get a penny. However, if someone watches the movie completely, you get 6 pence. So in the end, we made a whopping $178, which is obviously nowhere near of what we paid for that movie, because we did have investors for that movie. To be honest, we had much more money for Clay's Redemption. But
So wait a second. So you're saying if somebody does not watch all the credits in your film on a streaming platform, you do not get paid?
exactly, you don't even get 6 pence.
That is crazy.
And it just happened right before we got the movie out there. Our distributor wanted to make the deal 2 weeks earlier, and Amazon had a problem or something. And they said, "Can you wait 2 weeks?" And we said, "Well, 2 weeks, whatever." And it came out 2 weeks later, and I got an email that they had changed the policy in that time, which is insane. It's the same on Spotify, it's the same on Apple, it's the same on Google Play, everywhere. So yeah, we knew that we will not recoup the money that's in there. So all the investors are now on hold, more or less. And I said, look, if Toxica is a little bit less money in there, it's self-funded from us privately, so we don't have to pay back investors. I just have to pay back my account. That's it. And yeah, and we said, look, if Toxica works out, we might do the same with Clay's Redemption, release a different edition, because right now the movie is out. It's been watched by thousands of people. So we will make an extra edition for it, like we did with Toxica, and we'll release it again, hopefully, if we decide so. And for future movies, we probably, hopefully, will make enough noise until then to get investors on board. I, however, would like to have external investors from the film industry, but also investors from Cardano, to keep it balanced, because I don't want to get married to the film industry anymore. I've learned that, and I would like to just keep the ball into the field of Cardano, where it seems to be much more innovative and forward thinking.
Amazing. Hi, Stephania. Thanks for joining back. I saw Henry shaking his head over there the whole time you were talking about your experience. So now that you've got your first directorial debut under your belt, and you're looking towards the future, and you've utilized Web3 and you're getting integrated, have you had anybody coming to you from the film industry asking you questions, or other people asking you questions on how you did what you did? Do you think that this could offer additional opportunities for services where you're helping other people do their films or do their projects?
Well, the short answer is no. We reached out to a lot, to all our connections. We said, look, this is the first time this happens. You can be the first person talking about it in your magazine or in your blog or whatever, on your YouTube video. And while the Cardano community was chasing us for interviews, the film industry did not even respond. So we got hold of one of them and said, look, what's the problem with blockchain and movies? And you know us for years. And he said the same thing as usual. He said, oh yeah, it's not possible. I said, oh, we did it anyway. But he also said, crypto is too unstable and it won't work. And it might not work. However, what we did so far, it did work. Like with Toxica, it works just fine. Let's see if it works with another movie. We had a couple of indie filmmakers we knew reaching out to us and telling us that Cardano is not ready for movies. I disagree. I think we are there. And while Toxica might not be, might be still early for the party, I believe the second movie coming out will not. I think the second movie will definitely boost that opportunity. And Toxica is just the first. It's just, we really used a movie that was already made. We had it, and better than selling it to Netflix for 2 years, and nobody watches it. So here we have at least feedback. And for 2.5 months, people talk about it and ask questions. And that's more I could ever hoped for, It's incredible as a creator to talk about your film. And yeah, it's wonderful. I would never make a different decision.
So there's like two things going on here. One, you have the mainstream people that just, they don't even believe in crypto in general. So it's a mass adoption thing that's still, we're trying to convince people even to open their minds up to Web3. And then you have people who have been in the space who maybe, say that we don't know how you did that, but we don't believe it. You know what I mean? And showcasing that you guys did it, I think like down the line in a number of years, there's going to be, is like, they were the first, and I mean, I know you guys have done your research, and like Juliana said, there's been little clips, there's been people that have put shorts or documentaries, like whether they were token gated or things like that. But as far as like an NFT being in your wallet and you can watch it right there, and it plays right there, like you guys have done this. So I think it's amazing. And it's one small step for, Rona and the team at Serenity, and one giant step for Web3, and I feel like this is the moon landing, and you put your stick in the ground. And even today, people are saying that never happened. You know what I mean? It's not possible. You can't get to the moon, and that was all staged. And there's gonna be people, years from now saying it didn't happen. But we're gonna know it's there, especially I got one in my wallet myself. So I'm excited about that. But yeah, I'm excited for what's to come for you guys. Megan says, I'm kind of curious whether Sessions streamer player for music might actually be able to be like the jukebox or Netflix for playing feature length movies like Toxica and such. Rona, do you know Session? Have you interacted with them online or in Twitter?
I forgot to unmute myself. Yes, I do. I haven't interacted, but I know of them. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's doing something with music, but that's really interesting concept, Megan. Being the next Netflix, and just with Siobhan and I's research, we were looking at. I watched a short film. Somebody did a short on Ethereum, and they were viewing it through Beam. And I checked that out the other day. There's a lot of movies. I know that there's another movie. There's a franchise called Flinch that's doing something similar.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of different ways how people are doing different things. But as far as the first movie that I can actually own in my wallet, like that's yours right now. So yeah.
Yeah, I think Flinch does episodic releases. I think the maximum of duration you can watch or stream in high quality on blockchain is 10 minutes. So Flinch took the 10-minute approach. So they make the movie bit by bit. Because I talked to them actually a couple of weeks ago, and I asked them how they do it. And they said they release 10 minutes at a time, I believe, if I'm not completely wrong. And the only thing is, as a filmmaker, if you start the movie from the beginning and you come to the end and you have to make a change, because sometimes that happens, that you have to re-edit your movie, or something doesn't work out the way you can, or you have a better idea. It happened with Toxica all the time, that someone couldn't turn up or something didn't work, and then you don't have the scene at all. And to have the movie in the end, you have to have to do something else. And it changed our plot in a subtle way more than 3 times, to be honest. The movie I wrote is not the movie that's on the screen, because things went wrong. And I asked him, I said, how you do it if you have a better idea or something goes wrong? And he didn't answer it, because I think they just have to go with what they started. They have to, they're bound to what they set up in the first couple of episodes, because otherwise it doesn't make sense. But I think the plot they have is fairly flexible. I think that they can still choose a bit more, which is clever. But yeah, I think the biggest pushback came from fellow filmmakers, who maybe are exhausted as well from the film industry constantly pushing them back, and and telling them what is impossible, which is utter bullshit. I'm sorry for my French, but it is. It's just your own limiting belief, and don't put it on anyone else. And I think that is the reason the film peers in the blockchain push heavily back on us, because they're used to it. They're used to things not being greenlit, and I don't blame them at all. And I think we just really did it because we were sick and tired of it, and just thought, we can still sell it. It doesn't matter, but it would be better if it would work out in a different way.
No, that's awesome. One of the things that we had a meeting yesterday, Siobhan and I, with some people in the industry, and they had told us, as far as what you said about you going to different people in the industry and them saying, no, we're not going to pick it up. We were advised to do our own press release, and whether industry people don't want to pick it up, if we do a press release, we were told that there would be help for us to get, different. Everyone's always trying to look for some content to push out there to the public, something new, something innovative. And so whether the industry believes on it, the news team might, there's a news team somewhere that might, or a magazine somewhere that might, so that might be something for Clay's Redemption that you guys could do too.
Actually, this reminds me, so as I'm hearing this kind of pushback, and this reminds me for one video recently that I watched about Steve Jobs, how he was explaining to very smart people that computers will take over and how we need that. And you see very smart people telling him, no, that will ruin the world. And you're like, this year, because that's kind of like around 30, 40 years, 50 years ago. And you think like, okay, these smart people, we might not listen to them because we have so many of these examples. I was just listening to that kind of very old video of Steve Jobs trying to convince these great minds about the computers, and they were like, no way.
100%.
So frustrating. I just sent I made the transaction.
Ooh.
It says it failed, and yet I get a notification from Retro NFTs that you rock. Your payment has been verified. So now I'm just in this total wormhole of confusion right now.
Oh, that's interesting.
Crossing my fingers that it's gonna get delivered, but I don't know what's going on.
That's strange. You sometimes get a little message that says you have to verify on the whitelist. That's not necessary because we don't have a whitelist. So you can literally just refresh the page. That is the only thing I know that happened a couple of times. But a friend of mine just minted it and said it was okay. So maybe give it a moment. Give it a moment and observe it. But it should be, oh man. I'm gonna check out.
Yeah, pull up your wallet on pull.pm and see if it's in there.
Yeah, definitely check it
a
out.
real in-time technical support.
Ladies and gentlemen, we actually have a miracle. We've gone from failed to low. So
woo! There you go.
okay.
Yeah, no, what I wanted to say is like I remember someone saying the people who say it's not possible should not hold the ones back who are doing it. And that is what I watched the Steve Jobs biopic recently with Ashton Kutcher, actually. I didn't know it existed, and it was brilliant. Nobody talks about it. It was much better than the one with Fassbender. And it's just incredible how little he gave. Like, he didn't give a shit about people telling him it's not possible. He just did it and quietly on the side, tried to develop something. And I mean, we just really kept it quiet as well, because if it fails, I don't want to be the face out there and saying, oh, we didn't manage to do it. I just want to come out there and say we did it. So the first 1.5 months talking about the movie, not knowing if it works at all, I literally just said, look, we want to do this. I mean, worst case, we would have released the ticket, but I just said, look, this is the goal and we're working on it. And yeah, I'm very happy it did work out in the end. And if Henry gets his movie, then I'm very happy.
Yeah, oh my gosh, we're excited.
If that fails now.
I just did it too. It worked great.
Man, if
You-
that
you
works,
just
if that
minted it? Siobhan, you said you
It
just
worked?
Yeah, I just minted it. It worked.
ooh, Henry, don't ruin my presentation now.
Well, now it's failed again.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's like really messing with my mind right now.
Don't worry, don't worry.
My transaction worked. So, and Retro and NFT says it's all good. So hopefully I'll see it turn up on wallet soon. What wallet are you using, Henry?
What wallet are you using, Henry?
The Yoroi.
Yeah. It could just be an interaction between Yoroi and the blockchain. The better wallets now are Eternal Wallet, Nami. These guys, these young community built wallets are kicking Yoroi's butt.
Which wallet did you use, Siobhan?
I use Eternal. CC Vault used to be CC Vault, now it's Eternal, and that's just rock solid transactions. Really good feedback on the how it's going. It's very good.
Yours really crap. Like
Yeah, unfortunately.
I just use your
I think I just got the film.
You just
I think
got
just
it?
came. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say just check your pool.pm. It's there.
hey, we minted in real time.
Cool.
Wow, real-time minting. Ooh.
Well, I'm sorry, but what I'm like blockchain very stupid. What do I do?
So
Like where's the movie?
do
You open
you
your wallet
Mhm.
Okay.
and it is like a CNFT. Like it looks like a CNFT and it's in your wallet and you can basically play it in your wallet right away.
So do you know how to do that? Do you know how to go to pool.pm to see your NFTs?
So
Is this your first NFT or do you have any other ones?
I think this is well. So do I like I see transaction metadata.
So
like
you can just ignore all that. You can, if you grab a receive address from your Yoroi, just any receive address, it can create multiple. Go and paste that into the search box on pool.pm, and that will show you your a web view of your wallet, and then hopefully it should be in there.
I'll give it a shot, and I will.
Oh, cool. So this is the first time you're seeing NFTs in your wallet.
use this real-time support as much as you can.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Jonathan just put a link to pool.pm. Usually I do a link to this so that the search box is already open.
Yeah, it's the I have a lot of compassion for the elderly in this space. I'm like 24 and I feel like it's kids these days, you just can't get a hold of them.
Yeah, a veteran in this space has been around for a month maybe, so you're doing it. Everyone's learning new things all the time. It's just how far down the path you are.
Yeah, if you go to pool.pm, like he put the link in the chat here, and then you go to the search
It's
magnifier.
playing right now.
Oh, cool. Yay. Awesome. Well, congratulations on owning the first Cardano full-length feature film as an NFT.
Wow. Great, Henry.
Yeah.
Do you have a section for reviews or feedback or something like that on your website?
Yeah, we
No, I
have
mean-
it on Discord actually. We have spoiler talk on Discord, so people can give us feedback.
Is there a link to your Discord you can put in the chat?
I shall do that. Hold on.
Okay. Juliana, when these are replayed, do people have access to the chats or no?
No.
Okay, because this is a recorded space.
Mhm.
So just to say it out loud again, so where people can go to mint, Toxica, the movie is www.serenity catalyst-pictures.com. Correct? Yes.
Mhm. We will send the link. I will put the link in the description. Yes, correct.
Or you could go to minting.retro-NFTs.art/UT1UVGDC7CFSCUZ. Okay, Discord Toxica tribe right here. All right. There's a Toxica invite in the chat as well right now to Discord. So yeah. Anybody have any other questions? This has been really amazing. Congratulations on just this achievement and being the first. I know that Charles was in a space, what was that, last week or a week and a half ago, and
Yeah.
with Snoop, and Snoop was asking him this very, do you have movies on the blockchain? And he was asking about female, creators, and so we have one right here that does both. So
Oh man, my heart, that in that very second he asked the questions, I had about 38 heart attacks, and then my DMs just didn't stop. Like, I think you were one of them, or someone was just DMing me all the time, and so many tweets and so many comments, like, who else is shouting Serenity at their phone right now? And so many people hashtagged and tagged and whatnot. And I DM'd her. I said, I'm a woman and a filmmaker, and double whammy. It's fine. You can just invite me. I can talk about both being a woman and a filmmaker. And nothing happened. And they were like, oh yeah, maybe, what did I say? I can't even remember. A failed artist, like a while ago. And it was a short film as well. And I was like, well, good for him, good for Steve to get the shout out. But I was like, but he was asking for feature films, and there's a feature film. And I died 35 times that moment, and with us a lot of other people. And I mean, let's see what happens. It's Snoop will love it, but it's not that we try to get him or anything. It's just if he discovers it himself, it's fine. If he doesn't, it's also fine. But we would love him to see.
yeah, cool. Well, thank you, Rona. Oh, go ahead.
So I don't want any spoilers, but what age can I watch this with my kids? What's recommended?
I would recommend it 15 or older. It does have nudity, and it has a good bunch of practical effects, as in body horror and violence. So
good to know. Thank you.
Juliana laughs. Yeah. Not to have a spoiler, there's one part where something is pulled out of the body, and I was like, ugh.
It was so much fun. I loved it. And it was I know which scene you mean. And the thing is, these kind of scenes you can shoot once.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't work the first time, it takes you at least 4 hours to reset again. So that was a good one shooting day for one scene. But it looks cool.
Yeah, it does.
That's cool.
Yeah. So I think that's the end of our segment today. Juliana, what do you think? We can just open it up if you want to, just for anyone to chat.
It was super interesting, and I think Rona's story is so compelling, and I'm very happy to see you not giving up and just pushing and trying and just ignoring all the negative minds, because there is also negative people. That's absolutely fine. It's their reality. And yeah, I would love to, if you join again and be part of the community.
Yeah.
Thank you so
Very
much.
cool.
I loved it. It was so much fun. Thank you, Dana, for inviting me. I didn't even know about it. And I'm very honored. I'm very, very honored to be here with all of you guys. And yeah, no giving up. I'm too old for it now anyway, but no giving up in general.
And I also think there's an opportunity for you to, if you put in a proposal, a Catalyst proposal for Fund 9, especially if you guys are wanting to release like Clay's Redemption, you can get some funding for that, you know, from Catalyst. Get some of the funding to help you guys, you know, work on some of the updates or some of the things that are going to help the community just understand a little bit more about how to deploy these things on the blockchain. I think you'd get a lot of support, especially because you already have proof of concept with this first one. So I think that if you, I don't know if you, how much you know about Catalyst, but it's a funding mechanism for people that are building on Cardano, and to help any new ideas or any new, you know, companies that want to build on Web3, bring their ideas to fruition. So I think you'd have a really good shot of getting funded.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah. Is it Catalyst Swarm or something like that?
So Catalyst Swarm is an arm of Catalyst. So Project Catalyst is the funding mechanism of Cardano. So there is a treasury that is basically funded through, you know, the rewards that are that come through staking and all of that. And then it's put in a treasury fund, and the Project Catalyst is what, it's a decentralized way, semi-decentralized way of putting money to people's ideas. So if you're somebody in the community, you just put in a proposal, and then you get voted on by the community. So like voting opens tomorrow for Fund 8, and we're all gonna, everyone who has a certain amount of ADA in the wallet, who has registered their wallet, they are able to vote yes or no on every single proposal. And so you do a lot of, you've been doing a lot of, you know, promotion and marketing for the film. And it's the same thing with Catalyst, just getting the word out there about,
Yeah,
you know, come vote for us at it doesn't cost anything. And it can potentially get you some money to further the next thing you're trying to do. I don't know if I explained that right, Juliana or John, or Megan, but I did my best.
I think I definitely got it. And that starts tomorrow already.
Yeah, the voting for Fund 8. So Fund 9, I think starts, when would Fund 9 start, Juliana? In 3 weeks?
More.
More?
Not more.
What was that, John?
I'm useless. I can never remember the dates,
Yeah.
right? And they do change each fund as well slightly. So like voting shifted back a week this time, and so it all shuffles a bit. But yeah, it won't be long before the next fund starts.
Yeah, so this is actually perfect timing to get involved for next funding. And there's a whole bunch of different steps. You know, you come in, you put in your idea, and you can get feedback on your idea of, you know, the type, how you want to structure your proposal. And then, you know, it actually, the editing phase will stop, and then you're just talking about it. And then there's going to be assessors who assess and give like ratings, and then voting opens up after that. So the general public.
That's quite a lot of information for one.
Oh, it's fine. Yeah, I definitely give that. I pass it on to the team, and we make this. I think that's a great idea, actually, Dana. Thank you so much. Yeah, I think the other movie deserves better as well. You know, it really does. It's a great movie. I really love it. It's very Carpenter, very Blade Runner-y, you know. So yeah, I think people would like to see it.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I
Sweet.
look forward to seeing your next Catalyst proposal.
Ooh, yes. No, definitely. We definitely have already a lot of business plans and so-called Bibles and packages and everything from back in the time we made the movie. So yeah, I think we can do something with that. Amazing. Awesome. How do I reach out to Project Catalyst? Oh no.
Search for you.
Maybe you can join tomorrow's meeting, Catalyst, so our Insight meeting, and maybe we can speak more about, because Dana collected a very like a very good pathway for someone that is new on the Catalyst. So she ordered very everything. So maybe we can share that with you, and you can just kind of understand what is what, because it takes time to understand how, what, who, and whatever is.
Absolutely.
I
yeah,
can send
yeah.
I can send you a one sheet that I made. And it kind of like walks you through the steps, like Juliana said. So, and then if
Great.
you have any questions, but we also have a meeting on Thursdays, a bunch of us women, get together on Thursdays and kind of talk about what we're doing in the community and everything that we're doing in Catalyst every week. So, and we do have a website which Juliana created, and it's CardanoCatalystWomen.com. And there's a lot of resources on that as well.
I see. Okay. Cardano Catalyst Women. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yes, I definitely need to get more into that. Wow. Thank you.
Yeah.
A lot
No,
of space
you're
to learn.
welcome. What, Juliana?
A lot of space to learn many new things.
I know.
Yeah.
Juliana looks like she's having a lot of fun back there in your office.
Yeah, it's very dark actually.
Yeah, it's like a horror movie. Oh.
No, I said you look like you're having a lot of fun back there.
Oh.
But I'm glad you turned on the light too. So, oh, you're still recording. I thought we had turned the recording off, but that's good. So yeah, that's it for today, folks. Thanks for joining, and go check out Toxica. And Rona, what is your Twitter handle, just for the folks who are listening in the replay?
It's actually that's a very good question. What we have now, we have at NFT_Serenity.
Okay.
NFT_Serenity.
Perfect.
And
you on
then we have a
Discord?
link tree. Yeah, with the link tree you find all the website, you find Discord, you find everything. Instagram. Yeah.
Perfect. And again, minting is open for this movie. There's only 1,000 copies or 1,000 movies available for purchase. And this is a momentous occasion. This is history. So check it out. And we look forward to seeing you next week. And that is it for women's breakout session.